is here basically just to make information that we have in highways accessible to everybody. That's really like its only purpose. With that information accessible to people, I think there are things you can do with that, right? Because information in some cases is knowledge and power. And I don't mean power like abusing power thing, but just to be able to tell what's up. But all it's doing is presenting information that we have and trying to present it in a way or a spot where everyone can find it. So it's not supposed to be, oh, this great thing that I'm using to, I don't know, whatever it is, right? Like it's not something that we're building as a new system for tracking something. It's all it is taking everything that we're already tracking, kind of putting it in one spot and maybe combining that information. The advantage of it beyond that is that all of you have accounts that let you take that information and create your own kind of custom reports. So what that means is if you want to, or someone asks you to create a list of something or create a report of something or create whatever, a graph of something, and that something happens to already be in here and already be updating every day, when you create that graph or report or whatever, it will keep updating. So when they ask for it again in a month, it's still there with the newest stuff. So that's kind of like the power, is that you kind of have ready-made graphics or tables or whatever it is you want to make that continue to update when the underlying information updates. And so you don't have to go back and kind of redo things over and over again. When you start to learn how to use or what the underlying information is, this becomes a lot more powerful. And I'm going to show you a couple ways that we've pre-built those reports for specifically, and that's why when I invited for this class, this is specifically more from the management level, so that's why I was kind of saying section heads and branch heads. Of course, it can work at any level, but I'm just kind of trying to work through down through the people like that might be using it. So obviously in one position you're going to use it differently than in another position. It doesn't mean that it doesn't work for either one. It's just a matter of how you use it. So I'm going to, as we go through this, I'm going to give you some examples of stuff we have in here. We've been working on it a year now, so there's actually an overwhelming amount of data in here at this point. It's amazing to me how much I can find now that I have it available to me if I dig a little bit, and I think that there's potential to have even more in there. So all these things that I thought that we didn't have, we sort of do have. It's not necessarily in a nice clean format, but it's there. And so I've been having kind of fun just playing around with it, but unfortunately they don't pay me to play, so I have to work. Too bad. The other thing about this site that we've made use of in a very limited sense is that I can share stories to others. So right now, all of you guys can share stories to other internal users. Internal users, there's a group in here that's highways. So you can share it to the highways group, and that would be highways. FHWA guys all have accounts too at this point. So if FHWA wants to see something and you can create it here for them, then you can also share it with them. And our primary, if you want to call it outside users right now, are FHWA, where they're looking at a lot of the reports and stuff that we have that we're going to go over today too. We have it set up so ShipD can see, for example, the ShipD list. But if there's other groups outside that, you know, might need to see a specific thing, we can set that up. And so it's just a matter of, I want you guys to understand the potential. So if you see, oh, this might be a cool thing that might work, because I don't always know who you're sharing stuff with, then we can go ahead and set it up, because it's on the cloud already. So it's just a matter of, you know, either adding users, and then there's actually the ability to publish stuff all the way out to the public. Now, that ability is very limited. In fact, I think I'm the only one that can do that at this point. And I have given permission. So basically, you guys can set up a story and request that it be sent to the public. Our administrative policy is I go it all the way up through Ed and Marshall and ask, is it okay to share this with the public? And then if they say yes, then I go ahead and share that with the public. So that's kind of how that works. I think right now, Jill and Pat used it for some of the STIP stuff because they needed it to go out to the public. So there's a few things that are shared to the public, but it's very, very limited. I mean, in general, I think that a lot of our stuff we don't necessarily want public, and we're planning to use it primarily for internal. But again, the option is there. It's just more of what makes sense to share and what doesn't, right? Or what's helpful to share and what isn't. So that's kind of how that goes. And incidentally, I'm never going to share something with the public unless the person who put the data on there is specifically asking me to. So I'm not going to say, oh, look at Kevin uploaded some stuff that I really think the public should see. Let me share it. I'm telling you that I have to say it as a personal promise. Right now we don't have any written data policies because I don't know why. We just don't. But that's what I have decided is going to be the thing. So like anything that's shared to the public is something that the originator wants to share to the public with the data set. Some of the stuff, like a lot of this is like federal data and stuff, so like I don't really care. It's not our data anyway, so whatever. But and again, it's no big deal. You guys will be able to see when you see in there. It's of course anything can be misused, but it's not stuff that's gonna particularly cause problems. So I just kind of want you guys to kind of be aware of what's in there, what's the capabilities, what's it's being used as, kind of what the rules are that we're playing by. Okay, you can go on to